Hey guys, it's Gracie. I just wanted to film like a get ready with me style video today, so it's not going to be like a tutorial or anything. And yeah, so I'm just going to get started. So yesterday I got back from Las Vegas. Was it yesterday? Competing at the Mr. Olympia Pro Powerlifting Invitational. It was my second year doing it. So what's next? Eyebrows. So I decided to cut a weight class lower than I've ever been. So I competed at 132 pounds. Usually I compete at 148. And when I first started powerlifting, I used to have to like cut, 6 or 7 pounds to get to 148. And then in the last couple years, I've usually been in like the 140, so I haven't cut until my last competition in August, where I was about 150 to 153. So I just cut a few pounds. It wasn't really a big deal. So the way I do it is with water manipulation. It's using max lingering right here, if you're wondering. So for a Friday morning weigh-in, I'd start on the Sunday. So when I woke up last Sunday, my weight was 143.4. And I was like, holy shit, that's light. I was about 146 all month. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll like just do the water, maybe I'll just do the water loading and sodium loading and not really worry too much about like cutting out carbs, just do the water thing and like maybe drop a couple pounds just to get a better coefficient. Anyways, and then Rita West suggested that I just like man up and cut to 132. So I was like, no, there's no way, it's way too much, and it's just way too much. So I slept on it. Oh, so that Sunday, like, I went to Denny's with my girlfriend, and I like ate super bad, had like 2 English muffins before going to bed, and I had like no plans on, cutting to 132. So on Monday morning I woke up and I was 144, and I really got thinking about what Rita said. So I got with her and we talked about it, and I decided to just go for it. So I'm gonna actually, sorry, I'm just like jumping like around between like talking and makeup. I'm just gonna fill in my brows here, just the tail with this dark brown eyeshadow. Whenever I do my brows really thin like this, I use like a MAC 266, and I just like wet my fingers with like my tongue and pinch the brush together, so it's like really ultra fine. Anyway, so Rita convinced me to cut to 132. So I'd already drank 2 gallons of water on Sunday and loaded up with salt. So the way I do it is for a Friday morning weigh-in, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I drink 2 gallons of water a day and I sodium load. So I just, eat as much salt as possible, like destroy my food with salt, and if it's too unbearable, like the taste, then I'll just eat like a tablespoon of salt and wash it down with some water a few times a day. This time I actually cut off my sodium at noon on Tuesday. A friend of mine, Donnie, was helping me with the weight cut, and that's what he suggested, so that's what I did. And I also took a diuretic all week, like a double dose of an over-the-counter diuretic. I've never done that before. I've only taken them like the day before weigh-ins. And I'm just gonna carve out my brows here with some concealer. So as like the week progressed, it was going really well, and my weight was dropping every day. Not a lot, but consistently, so I knew that I wasn't holding on to the water. And I was supposed to drive up to Vegas with my girlfriend Jenny, but something came up and she couldn't make it, so then I was going to go alone, and I was really worried about going alone because I was planning on cutting off my food and water on Wednesday night, so I was worried about driving. It's about a 5-hour drive. I was worried about driving alone, so my teammate and best friend Liz came with me. She wasn't able to get the weekend off, so she drove up with me on Thursday, and she flew back on Friday night. Okay, so I also like didn't eat carbs after Monday night, I think. I only had sweet potato Monday. Obviously Sunday I pigged out. I wasn't planning on doing the weight cut, and then once I decided I was doing it, I only ate like chicken and broccoli, and I had some mahi and spinach. So my last meal on was on Wednesday night at 5 o'clock, and my last like water was like before I went to bed. So I ate like chicken with spinach and apple cider vinegar with olive oil. And after not eating any seasoned chicken or anything, just that apple cider vinegar was like heavenly. So that was my last meal. I was up early on Thursday morning. We left around noon, and it was about a 5-hour drive. We drove with another friend, Candace. She helped with the driving a lot, so that was nice. And at this point, I was losing about 1 pound every 4 to 5 hours. I think I had about 8 pounds to go by that point. So I got to Vegas around 5:30, and I went to eat with the girls, and that was pretty awful. At this point, I hadn't been rinsing my mouth or anything. I was chewing on gummy bears on the way to Vegas and just spitting, constantly spitting, to try and just get rid of anything. Next time I definitely won't do gummy bears. I'll do like someone suggested sweet tarts, and I could see how that would like make you salivate a lot more, like that sourness. So that's what I'll do next time. Anyway, so at dinner, I got a glass of ice cubes, and I was just sucking on the ice cubes and spitting. I won't do that again. I think it made it a lot worse on myself. And then as the night progressed, I had some like different drinks, like Coke or and I don't even drink soft drinks. It was just like anything with any kind of like a flavor. It just felt so good in the mouth. Any kind of wetness, like. My mouth was so dry, my lips were chapped, it was really shitty. So I ended up getting a Sprite and just like sat there and like took a sip, spit it, took a sip, spit it. It was really awful. Yeah, so I definitely won't do that again. But I wasn't even hungry at all at this point. I was just, you know, really thirsty, and I remember from years ago cutting weight that I never, you know, got hungry. It was just thirsty. I think in the first morning of not eating, like, I really noticed it a lot, but so I tried to keep pretty busy on Thursday night, and I went to bed around like midnight or 1, I think around midnight, and I got up at 3, and that was it. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't sleep. I was sharing the room with 2 other girls. I also don't think I'll do that again. Like this was my first competition without like my fiance and coach there. So I don't think I'll ever have to share a room with girls again, but like, cause he'd always be there. But if I did, I don't think I would share a room again, unless it's just like, you know, like I would have shared a room with Liz, but the other girl was competing the next day, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was like curled up in a ball on the bathroom floor. Like I was just so skinny and depleted, and just so, it was just really bad. I took a couple hot baths, and because I hadn't showered all day on Thursday, I was afraid of retaining the water, and I've been told that a few times, like, you know, like if you can get away with it, like don't, you know, because your body can like reabsorb that water. Just like if you're in the sauna sweating to make weight, like to have a credit card or something, and to swipe off like the sweat that's running off you so that your body doesn't reabsorb it. Anyways, I took a couple hot baths, and I thought, you know, that I've done that before and it's helped me drop weight. Anyway, so I just like felt so good and like clean and fresh after those hot baths or after that bath on Friday morning. But I couldn't go back to sleep, and it was like at this time like 5 in the morning, and I was just like on my phone, like it was miserable. So I woke Liz up, and we went like just driving around the strip, and we watched the sun come up like over the mountains in Vegas, and it was really beautiful. But I seriously felt like a total zombie, and I had never, you know, gotten to that point ever, like of like the whole thing was so agonizing, but at the same time it was exciting, you know, because I was like going to a place I'd never been before, and I was really excited to see. I knew I would get there, but to see if I would get there, you know, like I knew I would, I just couldn't wait to. Anyway, so we got back to the hotel at around 8, and I found out that I was able to go check my weight on the meat scale. So I walked over there, and it was really close to the hotel, but it was still like a long enough walk to really exhaust me. And it was the first time going into the venue, and it was like in a different spot than it was last year. And I was like all lost and confused, and there was like some randoms, you know, walking around, and I tried to follow them, but I ended up just like walking in circles in this massive convention center in the Las Vegas Convention Center. Anyways, I finally found weigh-ins at 8:30. And I checked my weight, and I was still 0.6 pounds overweight. So I knew at that point that I would have to sauna. At this point, I hadn't saunaed or anything like that. And it had been suggested to me, but I was advised by my weight cut coach going into this, like really wait until the absolute very last minute if I have to. So I went to sauna. I had to go to the spa and like pay 20 bucks to use a sauna, and it was shitty, and I thought I was gonna die, and I had to get the girls working at the front desk to call Liz and get her to come down and take care of me because I was just like afraid for my life. I go in the sauna for like 10 minutes, don't even start breaking a sweat yet, which totally depressed me. And then I got out, I did that like twice, and I still like wasn't even sweating. I was just basically dying. There's something about the sauna, like, and I even had like a towel with like a cold, wet face cloth like folded in between the towel on my face. It was just hell. So, and I'm just gonna finish up my eye look with the Naked Basics palette. I've been doing like these crazy like stage makeup competition looks recently. Like I feel like every day because I've been like trying to film a lot and stuff, or take pictures and post them. And I don't feel like taking it all off, you know, to redo my makeup or whatever, but like last night I went to the gym with like this like crazy gold black smoky eye, and it was terrible. I don't want to do that anymore. I wanted so bad to just be wearing my little Naked Basics palette, but there wasn't enough time to redo it. It was over. I was stuck with it. So after 2 10-minute bouts in the sauna, I couldn't take it anymore. I tried doing the hot tub there in the spa, but it seriously wasn't even like, it didn't even feel like 100 degrees. It was so like warm and not hot. Like our hot tub here at the house is 104 like all the time, and like that sometimes isn't even like hot enough for me, but it's like the most it goes. So Liz took me back up to the room, and at this point it was about, I don't know, 9:15 or so I decided to do hot baths in the room. So I just filled the bathtub with really hot water and got in for 5 minutes, and then got out for 5 minutes, and got back in 5 minutes. I did that about 4 times. I'm not sure if you're supposed to like stay in the bathroom with the hot air, like with the steam, whenever you get out, but I didn't. Like I just couldn't. I had to like get, you know, out of the bathroom, out of that humidity. So I did that about 4 times, and I just said, you know what, fuck it. I've heard, like, it sounds crazy, but I heard if you stand on your head, you might be able to lose like a 0.1 or 2 of a pound. I'm not sure you'd have to stand how long. Somebody would have had to like hold my feet up on the wall, you know. I was in really rough shape. I would rather just lie on the floor at weigh-ins for 2 hours, you know, and lose the weight that way than go back in the bath or go back in the sauna. So I got to weigh-ins about 10:30, and there was only a few girls in line ahead of me, and there was like girls like I knew on Facebook and stuff, but I'd never met in person, and they're probably just like, holy shit, like what happened to this girl? Like I was such a fucking train wreck. No makeup, hair was a mess, pajamas, no bra. It was like, I don't think I've ever like shown myself in public like that ever before. And like I went to meet somebody like really quickly in the warm-up room at the meet, because there was like the powerlifting meet going on also, and like I saw April Schumacher, this lifter who I just see like every year at the Olympia, but we're friends on Facebook, and I'm like, hey April, and she's like, she grabs me by the hands and she's like, do I know you? I was like, oh fuck, I better go put myself together. So it's funny. Anyways, I went back to the room and I got ready and I started hydrating right away. I drank, I started sipping on, I had like made up a mixture of like 32 ounces of Pedialyte, 32 ounces of Gatorade, 32 ounces of water mixed together, and so I started drinking that. I finished that around probably 2 o'clock, and then I just drank some more stuff, and then I went to CVS. I actually have it here. I got some glycerin, and I was told by like one of my powerlifting mentors to, you know, drink it, and like they told me like how to take it and stuff, and it really worked. I mixed it with like a big bottle of Gatorade, and I drank it before I went to bed. I should have drank it earlier, but I wasn't able to like get to a CVS or whatever, so I got it after dinner, and I drank one that night and then one the next morning, and I woke up the next morning weighing 144 pounds. Well, I went to sleep weighing 144 pounds, and I also woke up weighing 144 pounds, which never happens. I was like really able to hold on to the water good, and apparently like what it does is pulls the water out of your stomach, and it and it replenishes the muscles with it. So I think. Anyways, it was like seriously a miracle worker for me, and I wouldn't have got back up to my weight, I don't think, without it. I felt really good, full, totally hydrated. I felt really good. So I went to bed really early on Friday night. Both girls had left, so I had the hotel room to myself. That was nice. And I fell asleep at around 8:30. I was like just totally wiped out from the day. I ended up eating sushi. Like I had a bunch of stuff to eat. Like I had like pad thai and just a bunch of like really salty foods during the day. And actually that's a lie. I didn't have a bunch of foods. I meant to eat more, but I didn't. I wasn't like, I should have ate more than I did, but I ate pad thai, and then I ate like a bunch of like sweets that I brought and stuff, and then around 6:30 or so I went and had sushi by myself. So Saturday morning I went to eat breakfast with a couple of friends at the Venetian at the Grand Lux. I went back to the room. After that I laid down for about an hour. Then I got my shit together and walked over to the meet at about I don't know, 11:30. And so it was my first competition without AJ there, and but a few people stepped up and like really came through for me, so that was nice. My first ever powerlifting coach, like the guy who like told me what powerlifting was. I was like training, like I wanted to be a bodybuilder about 3 or 4 years ago, and this guy in my gym, my hometown in Ottawa, Ontario, Barry Antonio, I started training chest with him on my chest days. On Wednesdays he would bench and I would bench too, so he showed me how to bench like with an arch and to boards and stuff like that. And one day he took me to like his powerlifting club, and I benched with the girls there, and I was like benching what they were benching raw, and they were in shirts. So he convinced me to do a powerlifting meet, and like very shortly after I did my first powerlifting meet, and then shortly after that he moved to BC. So I haven't seen him in, like since then. So it's been like probably more than 3 years, or almost 3 years. Actually, next month it'll be 3 years that I'm powerlifting. Anyway, so I saw him for the first time, and it was awesome. It was really good to see him. He helped handle me. Also, Roger Baker helped me out a lot. Christy Scott's coach from Washington. It was really good to see them. Okay, I'm gonna do like the rest of my face and then go back and finish the eyes after. So all the girls started warming up on the platform with like this super shitty bar. And I think like honestly like a lot of them don't even know any better. They're just like, oh, the bar's on the floor, so that's the one I'm gonna warm up with. And I like touch it, it's like smooth. It's fucking totally smooth. I'm like, okay, so I know Steve has like good bars, so I found a deadlift bar and started warming up. And I didn't take a lot of warm-ups at all. Well, I took the normal amount of warm-ups. Actually, I guess more than normal because I wasn't squatting or benching. I did like 135 for 5, 185 for 3, 220, and then I put my suit bottoms on. I did 225 for 1, and then I did 275 for 1 with the straps up, and then I did 315 for 1 with the straps up, and then that was it for warm-ups. I opened with 363. I like to open really light. Not necessarily like something I can triple or something I can double or something. Just like light. Something that I know will like really fly off the floor. And a lot of times on deadlift, I'll take it like about a 60-pound jump on between my first and second attempt, just so I don't have to like warm up a lot. And I like to get like a huge rush of adrenaline after that opener. And for me, opening light, that gives me that. After I smoke an opener, it's like, okay, you're in the game, you're good, and that carries me over to my second attempt. Then on my second attempt, sometimes I go for a PR, or sometimes I just go for a number to bring my total together. And in this case, I took 402 on my second attempt, and that was the weight I missed at last year's Olympia, and it was my first ever try at 400-pound deadlift, and I was totally fucking devastated. Even though I got like a 15-pound PR in single ply, and that was my first single ply meet, the PR was like from multiply. It was the first time I ever missed a lift in a competition, and at the same time, it's like, okay, well, I guess this is like almost like a starting point for me, because I mean, I'm a powerlifter. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna miss lifts sometimes in meets. I just really wanted it, and I didn't get it, but that's okay, because I got it this weekend. I pulled 402 on my second attempt, and it was really good. And by the way, I always like have all my numbers planned, unless it's a full meet and then I miss a number and I have to like put together a new total or something. Then like on the spot we'll kind of reassess. But I had my numbers planned, and like I never go to like, you know, beat anybody in my weight class. It's always just like about PRs, 5-pound total PRs, like what I want. Like ultimately I want a 5-pound PR in each lift, but as long as my total keeps moving up every competition, that's all I want. Anyways, I was really happy after I pulled that. I was so proud of myself and so happy after that 402s. And then my third attempt, I had planned on taking 424, and so that's what I took, and I got it. I wasn't sure if I was going to, like, the bar stopped, and the bar stopped about 2 or 3 inches from lockout. I don't know how far, but it was like really scary. I just remember like, don't stop pulling until you hear the down command, and I didn't fucking stop, and I got the lift. I think it's the first time I've ever been red lighted on a deadlift. I don't know. That's okay. It's gonna happen. Yeah, so I was really happy with the way everything went. I'm pretty sure, I know Christy Scott won Best Lifter with the Wilks coefficient. Her coefficient was 2.16 and mine was 2.14. I'm not really sure. I've never really taken the time to like understand the coefficient and how it works. I just know it's a mathematical equation that you punch in your body weight and the number you hit it gives you a number. But I'm pretty sure I hit the biggest like pound for pound, like so like divided by body weight. I'm pretty sure I hit the biggest pound for pound deadlift at the meet. And Christy Scott won with a tore up shoulder. She's getting surgery this week or next week, and she's just amazing. She's such a humble competitor and one of the nicest girls I've ever met in the sport. She's just like such a sweetheart. I loved competing with her. Last year I hit 385 at 148, and so this year the 424 at 132 was a 39-pound PR at a lower body weight, and it was 3.2 times body weight. I think that's my biggest ever pull. I've done 450 weighing in at 146 in multiply, but it wasn't, it's 3.0 something, 3.08 or 3.09. So that was pretty cool. I never thought I would ever, you know, be deadlifting 400 pounds ever. I remember my first goal in powerlifting ever. I was training with a personal trainer. I had never competed yet. All I wanted was to lift 2 plates, you know, to deadlift 2 plates. And I remember the day I did it, I was training with him like on my lunch hours working at a car dealership before I moved to the States, and I hit 2 plates, and like I didn't know anything about training systems or powerlifting or anything, or I just knew that, you know, we deadlifted once a week, and every week I hit more than I hit the week before. And I remember that 2 plates like so well, and how happy I was, and oh my god, I just like, I couldn't believe it. I was like showing everybody the picture, and I used to see myself benching 400 pounds. Like I could imagine that, but I never used to imagine ever deadlifting 400 pounds. So it's pretty fucking awesome. I got some really good advice from a good friend this weekend about my mental state and just like going forward into my lifting career and the kind of mindset I need to have, like concerning my goals. And it really, a lot of things clicked, and it was a really good talk. I'm going to be switching some stuff up with my training now that the Olympia is done. I'm taking about 6 or 7 months off before I compete again. It's going to really focus on my raw squat, and I'm really excited. I'm still going to be training west side and everything, but instead of rotating between squat, deadlift, and good mornings on max effort lower, I'm only going to be squatting on max effort lower for a few months, and I'll be getting in like my deadlift work as accessories, like more like repetition method, and I've been doing a little bit of that in the last month or so, and I've really liked it a lot more than speed pulls, and I already feel myself getting stronger. Like for example, tonight I'm max effort lower. I'm doing a raw safety squat bar, box squat, and then as an accessory I'm doing sets of stiff-legged sumo pulls up to like max weight, 3 sets of 5 I think. So a couple weeks ago I hit stiff-legged sumos, I hit 300 for 8, so I'm gonna go for 320 on my top set of 5 tonight. Anyways, and something super exciting, 2 really good friends of mine, Leo and Sue, they're from a really popular gym in Hawaii, Mana Barbell, and Leonetta especially, she's been an idol of mine in powerlifting since I first started. She's like she's not old, but she's like an old timer in the sport for me, somebody I've looked up to for a long time. Really impressive single ply numbers, really impressive raw numbers, and her girlfriend Sue, just an amazing lifter. She's also an IFBB Pro physique. I think she was IFBB Pro figure. I don't think you lose it, but she's physique now, and but she's been focusing a lot on her powerlifting, and this woman is incredible. She squats 390 raw at 132. She deadlifted 424 raw at 132. I actually beat her this weekend in the lightweights. She came second, and it's so funny, like, I'm just like, is this real life? Like, did this actually happen? Like, there's no way. My handler was like, oh, well, if she's in your weight class, like, let's see what she's taking on her next attempt, and don't worry, we can change your attempt twice, and then, like, we can try and beat her. I'm like, no, like, not a fucking chance. Like, I just came here with my goals. Like, there's no way I'm gonna beat her. She pulls what I want to pull raw. Like, no. Anyways, and I don't know what happened, but they're so sweet, and oh, I just love them so much. They're too cute. I love seeing them at local meets and stuff. And so Suzanne's getting ready for Raw Unity, and I'll be getting ready for the Women's Pro-Am in April. And that's it. So that was my experience this weekend. A lot of rambling, but maybe I'll just post this in my training log instead of doing a meet write-up. Anyways, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all. And if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. And please subscribe. Thanks.